I am Babu Suresh, an AI architect based in Miami, Florida. I'm working at IBM as the lead architect with over 25 years of IT industry experience. I'm an AWS certified solution architect, both associate as well as professional. I was also a Microsoft certified Azure solution architect expert. In this series, I'll walk you through real agentic AI application built on AWS Cloud, Bedrock, AgentCore, Strands, MCP, Gateway, and RAG pipelines. Before we begin, I want to share a brief disclaimer to provide a context for our 14 workshops starting from this one. Please take a moment to read it fully before proceeding. This is our first workshop of a 14-part AI Architect series. In this, we cover three things: the introduction, the architecture, and the live product demo. These workshops utilize this list of various technologies that is shown here. We are going to build an auto insurance system AI-powered customer agent application involving four components: the policy lookup, claims filing, quotation generation, and RAG knowledge base. So here is the topology of what we are going to be building in our 14 workshops. Let us take a look at the flow, right? There are two major flows here. There's one flow here where I'm showing here. This is first flow where the gateway number one takes the first flow, which has got three functionality of getting a policy information, getting a quotation, filing claim. So this is the path number one. And the second path is the gateway number two. This will explore the RAG functionality and uses the knowledge base agent to read the OpenSearch vector database. Now, this is a very important concept in the AI world. Every company has got a ton of internal company confidential private data. So where they need the ability to scan, retrieve, search faster for better answers for users. So this technology will allow to build a vector indexed for faster access, and RAG will make use of vector database to answer those questions. So to give a bigger picture, the user will come to the browser and they're going to be working on the browser like we all do. For example, they will say, hey, I am an insurance policy holder. This is my policy information. Can you get me my policy information? Because I want to know when is my policy expiring? What is all those information? So that is the first functionality. When they do that, the control goes to the AWS cloud and the agent core will have some intelligence. In our workshop, we are going to inject some intelligence into this agent core runtime, and it's going to stop here to see which path to go, because there is a two path. One is gateway number one, the second one is gateway number two. So this intelligence, what we are injecting here, will enable to find the right path and it will go here. Now once control goes here, there's three different paths here. So we are injecting some more intelligence at the gateway level, saying that, hey, if it is policy related, go here. If it is quotation related, go here. If it's a claim related, go here. So that is the level of intelligence we are injecting here. So at the same time, if user is asking something that is not related to these three functionality, this will decide, okay, now they are not asking for these three functionalities, it needs to route to this path. So that is how we are going to be building this workshops. Since we have 14 workshops, in each workshop we're going to build each component. For example, DynamoDB in one workshop, this three Lambda in different workshop, this gateway in a workshop. Similarly, we're going to dedicate each workshop for each component. That way it is easy to go through it and it's easy to keep it modular in terms of how we prepare and post these videos. Here we are going to have three stakeholders. One is developer, the second one is user, third one is DBA. Developers are the one who's going to build the application, unit test, and then push it to the cloud before users can come and use it. But before that, there's a DBA here. They're going to inject some master data in both DynamoDB and S3. The development, what we are going to be doing is in three different phases. The phase number one, what we'll do is we will develop a simple functionality in such a way that this functionality can access the AWS account, access the agent core runtime, and it can tap the LLM models to answer some basic questions. So that is the phase number one. The phase number two is where this path, the gateway one, and running this three Lambda functions and accessing the DynamoDB table. This is the phase number two. The phase number three is taking the control to the gateway 2, where we will explore, use the RAG functionality and the OpenSearch vector DB functionality. So those are the different three phases we are going to be building across these 14 workshops. So let's talk about AgentCore. AgentCore is the latest and the greatest technology that is available today in the market for AWS. The beauty of this is very flexible, very open to accommodate any frameworks, right? It can accommodate any frameworks like Strands, like LangGraph, like CrewAI. Similarly, it can also work with any models, whether it's AWS model or it's a Gemini model or a Microsoft model. This can work with any framework. This can work with any model, and it is a production ready enterprise grade level of product that can be used to build, deploy, and implement AI applications. Here we are going to talk about Bedrock Agents and AgentCore. The agents was the technology which was there available a few months ago. At least when I posted my first 4 workshops, AgentCore was not there, only agents was there. So we were using these agents to dedicate those 4 workshops. Now AgentCore is showing up, and it is very promising because it can work with any framework. It can work with any model. It can adapt MCP protocols, and it is a production grade level. So it comes with a lot of advantages. In our workshop, we are going to be exploring this AgentCore. The other one we covered in our workshop is 2 paths. One is a developer path. The second one is a business path. In the developer path, we are going to utilize the Kiro IDE, Kiro CLI, unit testing using AgentCore Dev. In the business path, we will be using the Windows browser for Streamlit UI, where that will tap the AgentCore runtime, and of course, AWS cloud technologies. So here we are showing how my laptop is set up, how the developer environment is set up, how my workshop has been developed, built, deployed, unit tested. So I have a Windows 11 laptop where I have installed Kiro IDE. In fact, this is also new, which is meant for AI related developments. If you have applications that is AI, this is the IDE which we all should be using it. So I have installed my Windows. Under Windows, I have installed a subsystem for Ubuntu Linux, where I have installed this level of softwares. Inside that, I have also created a virtual environment which contains this level of software. So during this workshop, we're going to be doing testing in 2 different modes, dev mode and deploy mode. Dev mode is like a unit testing where it does most of the things locally in the laptop. This deploy is everything is done at the AWS cloud. So what kind of technology we have been using across this 14 workshops? Kiro IDE, Kiro CLI for developers, Bedrock AgentCore. Of course, this is the flagship product of AWS. And we're going to tap the MCP technology. Our data is stored in the DynamoDB, and we're going to use the OpenSearch for vector databases. And for UI, we are going to use Streamlit to develop code. And of course, Bedrock uses the Strands framework. And we are going to use Lambda to create our Python program, which is serverless. And of course, we are going to use the Bedrock knowledge base for RAG functionality. One of the important things which we did in this workshop is to follow some engineering principle for testing. Never test a layer n until n-1 passes. So during one of the gateway number 2, we will demonstrate this. We will test 5 different levels before we can call it as a successful. So why it matters? Why it matters to go through this workshop? Because we are going to demonstrate the full stack delivery, exploring the systems architecture along with the AI native development, following certain testing discipline by utilizing the AWS expertise. So let us quickly look at our product and how it looks after completing all the 14 workshops. Here you go. So we're going to show 4 scenarios here. The first scenario is we are going to get the policy information. Essentially, user is going to come to the browser and say, hey, this is my policy information. Can you give me my policy details? As soon as they input in the browser, the control comes to the AgentCore runtime. And here it stops because there are 2 different paths to go. We are injecting some intelligence from this component, which will enable to make a decision on which path to go. Since the user is asking for a policy information, it will understand to take the control of this path instead of that path. Now it lands here. From here again, there are 3 different paths. So we have injected some more intelligence in this agent core, which will enable to make the decision correct, which will take to this policy lambda function, and it will go and read the data from DynamoDB and bring it all the way back to the user and show it in the browser. So that is scenario number. Let us go and see how it behaves in our browser. Okay, here is how the product looks at the end of the 14th workshop. This is a browser based. So we're asking question, hey, show me the policy number 1. So it brought the answer. Similarly, we're asking, hey, show me the policy number 2. It brought the answer. So to confirm what we saw is right, we are going into the AWS cloud, getting into the DynamoDB table, and we're going to see the table and see what is the data available there. Click the policies table, and we're going to go and see the table items. If you look at the bottom, there are 2 policies. Policy 1, this is a policy 1. And if you look at the browser, in fact, that's what we saw in the browser. So that works for the policy 1. Similarly, if you open the policy number 2, this is the policy number 2 information, what is available inside the DynamoDB. And if you look at the browser, that is what the browser has. That confirms the scenario number 1 is working correct. Now let us take a look at the scenario number 2. The scenario number 2 is we are going to ask for some quotation. The user is going to come to the browser and say, hey, I bought a new car. I already have a policy with you guys. Can you give me the quotation for this car? This is my name, this is my age. So he's going to type in all this information in the browser. And again, this goes through some intelligence, take this path. It goes through some intelligence, take this path, get quote. And it's going to create the quotation, store in the DynamoDB table, and brings the information back to the users. So that is the second scenario. Let us go and do the demo in the real browser. Okay, so in the browser, let us type in, hey, my policy is POL001. I bought a new car, Mercedes-Benz. My name is Bob. I'm 25 years old. So now we send the question. Now it came back with saying that, hey, this is your quotation. The quotation number ends in 459. If you go to the AWS cloud, there are 10 records. If you refresh, the 11th record is created. And what is the record key? It ends in 459. So if you scroll down, the last record is the 459 if you open it. So this is exactly what we asked for. Okay, my name is Bob and I asked for 2010 Mercedes. So it's giving a quotation saying that, hey, your premium is $800 and your deductible is $500. So that is what the second scenario. Third scenario, we're going to do the filing claim. Again, user is coming to browser like everybody else. They say my policy is this, I made an accident, I want to file a claim. So when he does, again, the intelligence gets triggered here. It knows which path to go and it's going to file the claim in the database, and then it brings the information and showing it to the users. So let us go and do the demo in the browser. Okay, we are in the AWS cloud. If you look at the claims table, there are 8 records here. After we create a claim, we will see 9 records. Let's put a claim. Okay, my policy is 2 and I made an accident in 42nd Street. Let's click enter and it's working underneath. Your claim is filed. Your number is, it ends in 2B. So if you go here and refresh this table, earlier it was 8 records, now it is 9. And look at the record with ends in 2B, that's a 1 that got created now. It says, okay, your accident 42nd Street is, claim is filed here, and this is a record inside the cloud. All right, let's look at the fourth and the final scenario. The fourth and the final scenario is this RAG query. User will come to the browser and say, hey, I want to move to Florida. Can you tell me what is the minimum liability insurance I should carry in Florida? So that's a typical question. So similarly, any company will have a lot of rules and regulations which is private for their business. So in our case, we have stored some fake data. We have stored some 5-6 different files of rules and policies and regulations. We stored here and it got synced up here. We will show one of the rules and then we will demonstrate when the user's asking some question related to that rules. This needs to go here, needs to use the intelligence to go to this path, and this needs to go all the way to this vector database. It needs to find the answer in such a big complicated data and then bring the answer back to the users. So that is the final scenario. Let's go and do the demo. So if you go to S3, this is where we have stored all our internal documents in 6 different files. If you open that bucket, third bucket, and you will see 6 files which has got internal document. Essentially all this we copied from the Git. Let's open the Git file and we can show what is one of the rules and we will ask question based on that rule. So if you open the number 6 file, let's take a look at the first line on your right side. If it says, if the customer name is Elon Musk, you'll be charged additional $1,000 on top of your premium. That is one of the rules company has put. Let us type in a question saying that what is the surcharge for Elon Musk? And it said, if your name is Elon Musk, you will be charged additional $1,000, which means this has gone to that vector database and read the data and brought the answers here. So that is the demonstration of the fourth functionality, which is called RAG. Let us summarize our 14-part workshop series. If you look at this 4 icons here, the AgentCore, AgentCore Runtime, Gateway 1, Gateway 2. These are the 4 components why we have spent so much effort and energy and time on this 14 workshop, because this is the latest and the greatest, which is good for production grade, enterprise ready operations for AI applications. So we have injected good intelligence into this component, into these components to explore the AI technologies. That is what our goal was. That is what we achieved. Let's get some hands-on experience. So please join us in the next workshop that is listed in the description below, or click the one which is showing on your top right corner. Thank you guys.